Wat vind jij het moeilijkste aan Nederlands spreken?
Ik denk meestal grammatica. Hoe kan je jouw zinnen juist maken? Ik denk dat, ja, voor mij de moeilijkste.
Ja.
Hallo, ik ben Xinyu en ik woon al ongeveer 8 jaar in Nederland. Ik kom oorspronkelijk uit Taiwan, maar heb ik in 2015 in Nederland gestudeerd. En sindsdien heb ik gestudeerd, gewerkt en een gezin gevormd met mijn partner, die Nederlands is. En sinds 2023 ben ik officieel een Nederlands staatsburger. Mijn Nederlands is absoluut niet zo goed dat ik vrijelijk als Engels kan communiceren. Ik nam het niet serieus omdat ik in Nederland nog steeds met Engels rond kon komen. Ik begon eigenlijk hard te studeren in 2023. Dat was vorig jaar. Op dat moment zat ik op papier op ongeveer A2 niveau. Ik heb in Nederland wonen voor bijna 7 jaar. Maar mijn Nederlands is volgens mij niet zo goed. En vandaag kijk ik naar een filmpje van Skapjan dat hij de hele jaar geen Engels praatte. En dan denk ik misschien ik moet gewoon geen Engels praten doen, dat altijd Nederlands praten met Timon, met iedereen. Ik wil graag mijn ervaring delen over hoe ik Nederlands heb geleerd. En ik denk dat het belangrijkste dat ik heb gevonden eigenlijk de motivatie is. Waarom wil je deze taal leren? Of waarom wil je dit leren? Voor mij was het eigenlijk een heel groot imposter syndroom. Dat ik officieel Nederlander ben zonder fluent Nederlands te spreken. En het besef dat ik hier echt zou zijn. Zo niet mijn hele leven, of in ieder geval de komende 10 of 20 jaar. En nu mijn leven steeds stabieler wordt in Nederland, heb ik het gevoel dat ik hier eindelijk thuis hoor en thuis ben. Maar hoe kan ik Nederlander zijn zonder Nederlands te spreken? En dat was het moment waarop ik een enorme motivatie kreeg. Dat ik hard moest studeren en het net als mijn moedertaal moest kunnen spreken. Omdat dit mijn thuis werd. Mijn gekozen thuis.
Soms met Timon dat geen Engels praten. Maar het is altijd zo moeilijk dat misschien na 30 minuten en we gewoon automatisch naar Engels praten, alweer naar Engels praten. En dat is zo die motivatie.
Dus wat ik sinds dit jaar heb gedaan, is dat ik thuis meestal alleen in Nederlands spreek met mijn partner. En ook elke weekdag 1 tot 2 uur Nederlands probeer te leren. Maar soms werkt het natuurlijk niet. Want ja, we zijn allemaal drukke mensen, toch? En ik geloof dat mijn niveau van het Nederlands nu tussen B1 en B2 ligt.
Misschien ik weet veel woorden dan ik denk, maar ik kan niet praten. met de woorden. Ik kan misschien lezen, misschien luisteren en om te begrijpen. Maar voor praten is altijd zo moeilijk.
So I divided my language studying elements into 6. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, vocabularies, and grammar. Especially at the first, I really want to know the most basics or the most used vocabularies, but also simple grammar, because that's how we construct sentences, to speak, to write. Reading and listening are inputs. Writing and speaking are outputs. They're all very important, and I try to practice and learn them all. So normally I would divide, for example, Monday, reading, Tuesday, speaking, and then so on and so forth. But of course there are 6 elements and vocabularies. I don't really have a certain day to do it. I actually do it every day with the tool I'm using, which is called Anki. I will talk about it later.
Van vandaag. Ik denk dat ik moet altijd Nederlands praten, altijd Nederlands schrijven ook. Voor tenminste 3 maanden kan ik het doen of kunnen we het doen. First thing I would Google the meaning, of course, and then this means reject. And I go to multiple different kind of dictionaries. Okay, this is Van Dalen. The dictionary is more like an in-depth dictionary than Google Translate. Then I would also Google image to get an image to represent this word or phrase. And now we know this is reject. And then at the back, afwijzen. Sometimes I also put an example, such as this one. I got it from Van Dalen Dictionary. De sollicitatie werd afgewezen. So this is basically a process I put both the vocabularies or even phrases in Anki. Almost every single day I would review them. Sometimes it's really simple. There's not even image. So the present, het heden, and then good. And then this one, growing, cultivate, kwekken. Je moet jezelf er even toezetten, denk ik. I would also use like common phrases. Then it's easy if one day I want to say, you have to make yourself to do it, then I know, oh, je moet jezelf er even toezetten. Because when I'm now speaking English, for example, I normally also wouldn't translate like from my mother tongue to English. I really speak it from my brain, from my heart, and that's the way in the end I want to communicate also with people in Dutch. This is mainly where I learn my grammar, Dutch grammar, and I think it's super useful. It's video content and it's pretty clear and also pretty detailed like this. If I want to learn the Dutch mystery word and how to use it, it's pretty complicated. It broke down into several different sections and I think it's super useful. But what I would do is to use this grammar to make some sentence by myself. And I think that's one of the best ways to practice. Or, for example, I would try to use this grammar in my daily speaking. Grammar is still something which I'm pretty struggle at this moment. I mean, sometimes I would speak and then I would notice that, oh, I used the wrong grammar, but it's the same with English. I don't speak perfect grammar in English either. And the most important for me is to communicate with other people. And I guess that, then grammar sometimes doesn't really matter unless it's really wrong that, other people can't even understand you anymore. Then it will be a problem. I don't like grammar, but I think it's pretty crucial. I still need to know how to construct a sentence. As an adult learning another language, I think if you're learning grammar, it will be faster to grasp it. I don't have many physical books, so these are the few Dutch books I have. And normally, otherwise, I would like to use e-readers or just read it online. And I got them all from secondhand bookstores or secondhand stands. So for example, this is still the one I'm reading at the moment. It depends on my mood if I want to do extensive reading or not. If in a day I just want to read the story, then I wouldn't look up for every words that I don't know. Maybe I would underline them, but if it doesn't affect the storyline to go through, then I would just keep reading it. But if I like to learn more words or more sentence structure on that day, then I would just stop and to look up the words, or even sometimes I would write down the sentences. Just like this one, it was still from the book Per Ongeluk that I took some notes that I basically just wrote down the sentences. And then, to be clear, like, oh, what does that mean of these words? So another way I like to read or to listen to audiobooks is from this app called Storytel. For me, it's totally worth it, even there's a monthly subscription and access all the audiobooks they have. For example, this is my bookshelf, and I'm listening and reading this book. It's called Bob the Straatkat. It's super cute. What I like to do is to read one time, and then after that I would listen the audiobook and read it at the same time. I get my reading exercise, but also later on I can also listen to it, and then I have a pretty good comprehension from that. Of course, sometimes if I don't want to read, I would also just listen to it. It's pretty flexible what I do, but it's useful to have the text in front of you sometimes when you're listening to something. So another fun way of learning, and I guess it's my favorite way, because you don't feel like you're learning, is to watch series. And I like to use this channel called NPO. NPO is a Dutch TV channel, or they also have radio and everything. And NPO app is free, and even if you don't pay subscription, you can already access so many different kind of shows, different kind of radio, for example. And my recent obsession is Oogappels. It's a Dutch TV drama over families, kids, teenagers especially, and what kind of problems they have at home, at school, and how they deal with the family. For me, it's pretty interesting and really can see the culture behind it. And the others, there are so many. I totally recommend it over Netflix, for example, because on Netflix I don't really have so many shows in Dutch that I can watch. So for videos, what I watch, I also like to do shadowing practice for speaking, and it's super helpful. So basically, I think if you're learning a language, you've heard of shadowing. Shadowing is that you quickly repeat what people are saying and to mimic their tone, their accent. And it's speaking practice. Doesn't mean that you have to understand what they're talking about, but mainly to practice your speaking. So I don't really watch a lot of Dutch YouTube channels because I can't really find one I'm super interested in. I like to watch shows more, but Easy Dutch is really a great way because a lot of the videos they go onto streets and interview people. And for example, we watch this episode, Is Utrecht a nice city? Het is gewoon een soort wat Amsterdam vroeger was. Gewoon lokaal Nederlands. Gewoon lekker rustig.
Moeders op zichzelf gelopen. Ze zijn gescheiden.
Officieel gescheiden.
Het is er nog niet van.
Maar denkt u dat uw moeder wel bereid is een deel...
Dus ik heb de boodschappen net gedaan en ja, nu zit ik even bij de bank en ja, kijk naar alweer oogappels. En wat ik wil zeggen is dat is ook heel interessant dat het gaat over 3 generaties. Dus de opa, oma en dan moeder, vader en dan de kinderen. En je kan zien dat de verschillende perspectief, zoiets. En vind het erg interessant.
Another great way to practice speaking is to join a I almost said cat cafe. Sorry, language cafe, which I think almost every city has that organized in their public library. And luckily there is also one which is quite close to my home. In the library every week there is a language cafe where everyone is free to join, and there are Dutch native volunteers. They would talk to you, depends on what you want to do. Hier maakt me wat alweer met keramiek, wat mijn grootste passie hier. Meestal wat ik doe is naar muziek luisteren. So normally I would listen to music or audiobooks or podcast when I am doing ceramic. It depends on my mood, of course, and most of the time I like to listen to chill music. So there are a few Dutch artists, which I like or I listen frequently. And there are also some podcasts I like to listen. So the recommendation is here. Because of copyrights, I can't really play the music here. But the genre which I like is mostly alternative indie or indie pop. So this is what I like. So maybe it's also your cup of tea. I don't know. So I just finished one of the episodes from Oogappels, and I got quite emotional and I got a lot of thoughts. And that's why I wrote something down in Dutch as my writing practice, which I would like to share. We worden geboren, we leven, we worstelen, we gaan door. We vallen, we staan op. We verdwalen, we vinden elkaar. We leren, we hebben lief. We herhalen, we begrijpen. We gedijen, we sterven. Uiteindelijk. Het leven kan zo eenvoudig en toch zo ingewikkeld zijn. Net als de tijdlijn van de videobewerkingstool. Als we het uitzoomen, ziet alles er zo klein en onscherp uit. Ondanks dat er waarschijnlijk ondraaglijke details zijn als we erop inzoomen. Alles is tijdelijk. Learning a language is definitely a long-term run. Even now, I feel like there are a lot of English phrases, words that I don't know, which I've learned English since I was a kid. So, learning another language as an adult is definitely even more difficult. What I just want to say is that there are definitely times that we struggled, we find it so difficult that we want to give up. And those are the times that we can take rest, we can chill, and maybe just have some fun with it. Watch series, for me it's fun, listening to music, sing along. We can go through this, and we can do it. And let's have fun.
Afspraak is moeilijk voor mij.
Ja.
Zoals herinneren, denk ik
Ja.
altijd. Als ik dit woord moet zeggen, moet ik voorbereiden, mentaal.
Ja. Herinneren en wat was het andere woord?
Eventueel.
Eventueel.
Nog steeds niet zo goed.
Gestart.
Ik probeer om nieuwe woorden te gebruiken.
Zoals.
Gesprekstof.
Oh, heb je het ook van oogappels?
Niet van oogappels, van leesboek.
Ik zag vandaag, dat was heel raar. Ik zag bij het kantoor van de klant, was de animatie van jouw Nederlands les.
Maar wat animatie? Oh, je bedoelde soap.
Ja.
Soapserie.
Het was op het scherm.
Ja, misschien is reclame. Samenwerken of zo.
Dat was heel gek.
Oké, ik heb stop. Ik stop het.
Dat was een goede sessie.